I've fished the Hampshire Avon for many years for dace, chub and barbel, and very occasionally for roach. When I've fished for roach in the past, it's either been with casters or bread. And my stour approach of the summer hemp and tares fishing doesn't get talked about so much on the Avon. But this season I'm determined to have a little go on the Avon with hemp and tares and see how I get on. I'm very confident that I can catch roach on tares. It's a question of finding a swim with roach in it. This is a little bit of fishing on the Avon. I'm getting a few roach on a waggler. Again, a float that you don't tend to think of on the Hampshire Avon. But with the summer flow, which is still quite quick and fairly shallow and weedy water, and a waggler is ideal for fishing like this. One of the problems on the Avon is the amount of weed. When you hook a better roach, they try and get into the weed, and I've lost one or two that have unhooked themselves in the weed. I've also found that initially I'd used fairly heavy floats. On my first session I was using a waggler taking about 2 swan shot locking, which made casting and control very easy. But I've also realised that although the control of the float is good, I can get away with much lighter floats. In this second session, which you see on this video, I switched from a float taking about 3 AAA and a BB to a 3BB waggler, and that's much more delicate, and that shows the bites better. The fish don't feel so much resistance when they grab hold of the tares, and so I think you'll catch more fish. I think people are frightened of fishing delicate floats on the Avon. I've seen people with very thick top floats complaining that they're getting tiny bites, yet they're good roach bites. The fish are just dropping the bait all the time. As you can see, the trot is fairly short, so it's a case of cast in, fire out some hemp with a catapult, control the line, trot, get ready to strike, and pull back the float before it's hooked up into the weed. The rig I've got is fairly simple. The locking shot round the waggler with a gap of about 1 inch between the shot around the float eye. Around about 4 foot of line down to the hook. Hook length's 22 inches, which is my standard length. And I've got a size 16 barbed hook. I like barbless, but with so much weed you just lose the fish in the weed if they go in there. And just a couple of number 8s down the line, which isn't very much for the Avon, but that's enough to get the tear down to the fish. caught this roach of a pound when I wasn't actually videoing, so I thought I'd just show you this fish from the same swim that's shown on the video. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Look out for my books on calmproductions.com.